Day number 4, vlog number 3 with my Adrenal Fatigue Diary. Today I got up, had a nice little salad. It was baby greens with the, I believe it's raspberries, dried raspberries that comes with it, with nuts, and it comes with feta cheese. Ate that for breakfast. Got up, had a drink, smoothie, one of the smoothie drinks that I had in the fridge. It's bananas with some berries, mostly water though. I think it's mostly a water product. Oh, I went to the store and I bought coconut flour. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with the coconut flour. I've never baked anything with coconut flour before. Today I hadn't even seen it in the store. I didn't even know it existed. So coconut flour, if anybody has any recipes for coconut flour, I don't know anything about it. I assume there's some kind of cookies or treats or something that I could cook with coconut flour. So I'm going to try that. And I bought some aloe vera juice. So aloe vera juice now is a really big deal for, you put it on your head and you soak your hair for like an hour. And if you have thinning hair, which a lot of people with adrenal fatigue do, you either have less hair or you have thinner hair. So my hair, it's not very thick. I mean, you can see in there, it used to be like 3 times as thick and probably twice as many hairs, like in my head. Before I had kids, I had a lot more hair, and then with the adrenal fatigue, I think it set in, maybe, let me think probably about 6 years ago, maybe 7, that I got really sick with adrenal fatigue. My story is basically that I worked at this really nice hotel, which I loved. I've loved every job I've ever had. I always, make a note of it. I make the best out of every situation. So I loved that job, and it was super fun, but the owner was a very difficult woman, and she was, I don't like to label people, but she was OCD, definitely, and possibly narcissistic, because she would come in there and be very upset about things that we didn't have any actual control over, or she'd yell at us for things that weren't our fault. So, for example, she'd walk in the room and say, "Hey, that vase," oops, I'm dropping my phone. There was a vase in the lobby, and she said, "That vase wasn't there, so the vase goes over there." And I was like, "Actually, that vase was there last night when I left. It's been there for 2 days." And she's like, "No, it wasn't. Someone moved it." Nobody moved it. It was there. It was like that. That vase was moved to a different table. Like it mattered. Like anybody cares about a vase. So it was a little weird with the OCD and a little weird with the not remembering things and thinking that her employees were lying to her. And she was a very stressful person to work for because everything had to be done. Not only did you have to do your job, but you also had to make all the breakfast for the next people. It was a lot of work to do anything. And you pretty much worked from the time you got there until the time you left. And I did a lot of overtime because I had to do a lot of reports and things that, basically we didn't have time in our shift to fit all the work that she wanted us to do. Anyway, so that's my story on how I got adrenal fatigue. At the same time that I had this job, I had just been separated from my ex-husband, and I was starting to do with the divorce, and I was doing the custody battle. So I was a little stressed out about that. I don't think that was a major problem, though. I think my major problem was the job that I had and the boyfriend that I had at the time. hate to say it, but he stressed me out so much. He was definitely a narcissist. He was, you know how they are. They don't mean to take up all the time in your life and to take everything away from you and spend all the money on themselves and not you. It's not that they do that on purpose. I don't think any of them intend to. But it stressed me out a lot because he would say things that were just false or untrue and very spiteful and childish. And I'm a very mature person, so it's really difficult for me to come back. Someone that would give me an argument that a 5-year-old would give me, and he would come back with me with something that, like one time I told him it was a moot point, and he said, "Don't tell me to mute." And I said, "It's a moot point. Do you know what moot means?" And he said, "That's a word. You just made up a word, didn't you?" I'm not joking. I'm not joking, people. Anyway, so he was very hard to deal with. So while I had that job and I had the boyfriend, I had a lot of chest pains. I thought at the time, it was really funny because I thought at the time when I was working this job, I thought, oh, my bra's too tight. I thought, I need a new bra. And so I'd wear a different bra and I'd still get the chest pains. And I thought like, oh, why is my chest hurting so much? I couldn't figure out that it was actual chest pains because I was so stressed out from this combination of factors in my life that were causing problems. And at the time, I think when I started to date him is the time when I started to make ribs a lot. Beef ribs, and we would broil chicken and things like that. So I was eating a high-fat diet at the time. This probably wasn't a good idea. I've been looking at a lot of the literature and also the, scientists on YouTube. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. People just deal with me. The scientists basically saying like high-fat diet is not a good thing, and also you should eat lots of fruits and vegetables. These are all basic things that you should probably know that I wasn't. It did not occur to me at the time when all these other things. When you're really stressed out and you're thinking about how your life is going and you're not really focused on, hey, I should eat healthier. Hey, I should probably not have that extra coffee. Like, you're not thinking about that at all. So you kind of screw yourself in, you're screwing tomorrow you. Tomorrow you is going to be unhappy. But today you was fine with having that extra coffee. No big deal. But tomorrow you's going to be really pissed off when they have adrenal fatigue because you didn't take care of your body. Anyway, it's probably past 1 o'clock by now. So I need to go to sleep. But that's my vlog for today. If you have any questions, comments, if you have advice for me on these new vitamin mixes that they have on Amazon, I sent some to my sister Sabrina for her to look at, because some of these are really good for to fight estrogen dominance. And they also have one that's like a DHT blocker. And I also saw that like stinging nettle is a DHT blocker, which would be good. It's really good for your hair, to not have the DHT in your system. But I think also in your body, like in general, women probably shouldn't have that much DHT in their body. So, I mean, it's good for you to have some of it, but not as much as we have. We have too much these days, women. And also licorice root. You can buy tea with licorice root in it. And that's actually really helpful to fight DHT and testosterone in women. Things that you probably shouldn't have in your body so much. But we do because of the way our diets work, the way our lives work. And honestly, another thing is a major contributor to a lot of women getting adrenal fatigue now. We're all getting this adrenal fatigue in our late 30s and 40s when we quit the pill. I wonder why. Could it be that the pill did this to us? Don't take the pill. Just don't take it. Do not take Mirena. Do not take the shot. The Depo-Provera I took made me so sick, and I gained like 35 pounds in 2 to 3 months. It's just, none of these things are good for you. All these, just stay natural, people, as much as you can. Look up on the internet as much as you can, information about things. If somebody prescribes you a drug, read about that drug as much as you possibly can before you take anything, because chances are it's not going to be good for you in the long run. So tomorrow you is going to be pissed that you were on birth control pills for 20 years and didn't think about, oh, by the way, I'm going to be really unhappy in my late 30s and early 40s because I took all these pills and now my body's jacked up. Okay, anyway, I'm done rambling. Early in the morning, I gotta go to bed. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.